մեր երդասարտուհի Ժանին Ժանինը Պոլսահայ Միութեան Մշակութային Անգլերէնի Անգլերէն բաժնի սեկրետերն է։ Ուրեմն ինքը երդասարտ ողով շատ արժանիք արժեքավոր աղջիկ մն է, մեր իմ Փարիսիների բարեկամ Գերես Ժանին Սապունճուին դուրս կրել։ Հրամ է աղջիկս։
Many people who attempt to classify a deliberate mass murder fail to acknowledge a significant difference between the two appropriate terms, genocide and ethnic cleansing. So I would like to start off with defining both terms to make it clear as to why the Armenian massacres should be classified as genocide and not ethnic cleansing. Genocide is done with an intent to wholly destroy and annihilate a targeted group, while ethnic cleansing is not meant to annihilate and eliminate the entire group, but rather to homogenize a region, hence the name ethnic cleansing. It is wished to cleanse the region. Now, in contrast to genocide, ethnic cleansing is officially defined as, quote, rendering an area ethnically homogeneous by using force or intimidation to remove persons of given groups from the area. Furthermore, it is meant to classify crimes of all other sorts other than genocide, including war crimes and crimes against humanity. It is done in order to eliminate a group from an area. It is done in order to cleanse an area, not to completely wipe an entire population from the surface of the earth. And ethnic cleansing could also include killing members. However, the intentions of killing the members is not meant to completely wipe them off the surface of the earth. Examples of ethnic cleansing include the brutalities committed by the Serbians against the Bosnian Muslims in 1992. They wished to homogenize the region that they claim to be their own, so they tried to kill and remove the Bosnian Muslims. In addition, the Croatians also committed similar attacks against Bosnian Muslims. Another example includes the 1940 taxation against the Armenians. During this time, the Turks began to tax, particularly the Armenians, purposely knowing that they would not be able to afford those taxes. As a result of that, they began to exile them. Now, by exiling them, they were able to homogenize the region. They only taxed the Armenians in order to get them out of the region, not to completely annihilate them. That's why that is classified as ethnic cleansing. Now, in contrast to ethnic cleansing, I'd like to focus more on genocide, which was coined by Raphael Lemkin, who is a Polish Jewish scholar, in 1994. And the term genocide was inspired actually by the Armenian massacres. In his book, Axis Rule in Occupied Europe, Lemkin defines genocide as, quote, a coordinated plan of different actions aiming at the destruction of the essential foundations of the life of national groups with the aim of annihilating the groups themselves. And after a thorough evaluation, the UN officially also adopted the term genocide in 1948, therefore denoting the act of genocide officially as an international crime. They defined genocide as, quote, an act committed with the intent to destroy in whole or in part a national, ethnical, or religious group. As explained in Taner Akçan's A Shameful Act, Ottomans strove to homogenize the Anatolian region after a major loss of lands because of the 1912-1913 Balkan Wars. In order to salvage the remaining power that they had, they arranged to deport and relocate non-Turkish Muslims as well as non-Muslim individuals. Now, in the wasted Armenians mainly, First, because of their prosperity that they had under the Turkish rule, and also because Armenians strove to gain more independence, which in return threatened the Turks' power. Now this by itself, considering the initial intentions of the Turks, it could be labeled as ethnic cleansing. However, after studying the severity of their actions, of their overall actions, and the evidence that still remains to this day, in accordance with the UN's and Lemkin's definition, it is only right to identify these acts as genocide, not just massacres and not just ethnic cleansing. Now, I've divided the Armenian genocide into 5 major stages. The first one is the Hamidian massacres, the first Armenian massacres, which 100,000 to 300,000 Armenians were killed under the order of Sultan Abdul Hamid II. The second stage is the murder of 60,000 Armenian soldiers in the Turkish armies. The third stage following this is April 24, 1915, in which the arrest and the executions of Armenian intellectuals and the elite took place. The fourth stage of the Armenian genocide included the slaughter, the arrests, and forced marches of women and children. And the fifth stage is happening right now. The universal denial by the Turkish government of the Armenian genocide through the manipulation of media and also through the usage of propaganda. Now, I'd like to refer to a convention that took place in 1948 in which the United Nations officially termed and recognized the term genocide. Here, Dr. Ricardo Alfaro stated that the punishment of the crime of genocide is a matter of international concern, and I'd like to draw special attention to the term international here. International implies that it should be a concern of all nations, and in this case, not just Armenians, but all nations. Furthermore, during this assembly, it was stated that genocide is a crime of international law. By stating it is a crime, it is implying that it should also be condemned. And by stating it is a crime under international law, it is stating that it should be condemned by law and recognized internationally. In addition to this, it was also stated that genocide, whether committed in time of peace or in time of war, is a crime under international law which they undertake to prevent and to punish. By the United Nations stating that it is their goal to undertake, to prevent and to punish a genocide, means that they are committed, they are making a commitment to punish the perpetrators. So why isn't Turkey being punished? Genocide is a crime. Therefore, those who carry out genocide are criminals, and criminals need to be punished. They need to be condemned. Therefore, Turkey needs to be punished and condemned. Genocide is a crime against humanity, and therefore it concerns all humans, not just Armenians, but all humans. In addition to this, there was a particular quote that I found during the convention. It states, "In order to liberate mankind from such an odious scourge, international cooperation is required." And in response to this, all I have to say is that in order for one to be liberated, one must be trapped. Therefore, in this statement, it is being officially stated that the victims of genocide are prisoners, prisoners who must be liberated. We Armenians are prisoners of genocide, and although our genocide is now a thing of the past, everything still remains the same. Our past and our present continues to remain the same. Why? Because for 100 years now, today, for 100 years, we've been forced to relive our, quote, odious scourge. And because justice is constantly being swept aside, denial continues. And as long as denial continues, the genocide continues. The Armenian genocide still continues to this day. Therefore, we are not just victims of a past genocide. We are not just victims of current denial. We are also prisoners of genocide just as we are prisoners of denial. We are prisoners of our ancestors' pain, and the only way to bring that peace and the only way to liberate as prisoners is to recognize us. Because we are here, we have always been here, and we will always, always be here.
Sizi Amerika hay iravapanderu Mars'taki sıkılalı teknoloji sizi. Skançeli madrasatı moraje bravo akçınız. Ama